All right, fourth graders, today is our second guided reading lesson. So this guided reading lesson is going to work just like Wednesdays. You will see your group's lessons posted underneath our Friday, April 17th lessons in our distance learning classroom. It's just going to be easier so you don't have to go to multiple classrooms to access your lessons. Please make sure that you turn in and submit your lessons when it is all done. However, please don't turn it in until you've answered all your questions completely. I will return your lesson if it is not done based off of the directions. So for today, you are going to watch today's video, and this assignment is going to be due Monday, April 20th before our 10:30 meeting. So I will be checking throughout the weekend and before 10:30 to make sure that you have your assignment finished. Also, if you have any questions on your assignment or any assignment, please message me through Google Chat. That is the easiest way to talk to me directly. If mom or dad emails me, I may not answer right away, whereas if you message me, I will answer as soon as I get your message. However, please make sure that you are listening and watching any video that I post before you message me. Because if you ask me a question that was directly answered in the video, or if it is typed on the slide, I will refer you to that slide or that video first. So please make sure you are reading everything on the slide. You are reading all your directions. And you are watching every single video because that is where the directions are. And if you do not want to have to redo something or get an assignment returned, please make sure that you are reading and watching every single video and reading every single direction. All right, but let's jump into our assignments. Just like last week, if you want to skip ahead to your groups, you don't have to listen to every group's direction. And then once your group has been explained, you can skip to the end for our final piece of directions. All right, we're going to start with Matilda. So Matilda, this week you are going to read Chapter 1, The Reader of Books, Chapter 2, Mr. Wormwood and the Great Car Dealer, and Chapter 3, The Hat and the Super Glue. So you're going to read chapters 1, 2, and 3, and on the next slide, you are going to answer your questions in complete sentences. If they are not in complete sentences, you may have to rewrite your responses. And again, you know that they are due Monday, April 20th by 10:30 a.m. All right. Chapter 1, The Reader. How would you describe Matilda? Think of our character traits. Use evidence from the book to support your answer. And don't forget, complete sentences. Chapter 2, Mr. Wormwood, the Great Car Dealer. In Chapter 2, Matilda thinks that her father cheats people who buys cars from him. Meaning, what that means is he's kind of like a liar or kind of sneaky. Do you think Mr. Wormwood is a cheat or a liar or a sneaky person? Why or why not? Again, use examples from the text to support your answer. Chapter 3, The Hat and the Super Glue. How does Matilda trick her father? And why did she do that? So you notice there's 2 question marks. I need 2 answers. Make sure you are answering all the questions. And lastly, Matilda, here's a personal question. What is something that you have in common with Matilda, and what is something that you don't have in common with Matilda? Make sure you're answering all the questions, and make sure your questions are answered in complete sentences. All right, Judy Moody group. Okay, so if you're reading Judy Moody, you're going to be reading chapters 1, Crazy Stripes Contest, and chapter 2, Batty for Banana Peels. Read chapters 1 and 2 and answer the questions on your next slide in complete sentences. This is due Monday, April 20th by 10:30 a.m. All right, Chapter 1. What kind of person is Judy Moody? Think of our character traits and use evidence from the book to support your answer. I'm going to be looking for the traits and the proof in your completed sentence answer. All right, in Chapter 2, you have 3 questions to answer. What does Judy Moody want in the beginning of the chapter? And what does she want now? If you tell me in one word, Judy Moody wants a friend, that's not the answer. That is not written in a complete sentence. All of your answers need to be written in complete sentences. The second question in Chapter 2. What does Judy Moody mean when she says rare? Okay, so you're going to come upon that phrase. What does that phrase mean? Make sure you're using complete sentences. And your last question for the day. In Chapter 2, what does Judy Moody mean in the chapter when she says, make like a tree and leave us alone? So what does that phrase mean? Again, I'm looking for your answers to be written in complete sentences. All right, if you're reading Jake Drake Bully Buster, here are your questions and your assignments. You're going to be reading chapters 1 and 2. And yours is again due Monday, April 20th by 10:30 a.m. Make sure you're answering every single question in complete sentences. Chapter 1, describe the setting of this book. You're going to think of the date, the place, the time. Okay, where does Chapter 1 take place? And your Chapter 2 question. It's a very simple one. You're now going to describe the setting, the date, place, and time of Chapter 2. Make sure for both the setting of Chapter 1 and the setting of Chapter 2, you're using specific examples from the book and complete sentences. Good luck. And Frindle. Okay, you are going to be reading chapters 1, 2, and 3. Okay, and you're going to be answering questions on the next slides in complete sentences. Your assignment is due by Monday, April 20th by 10:30 a.m. I will be checking throughout the weekend to make sure that you have them completed by that date and time. All right, Chapter 1 question. How would you describe Nick Allen? Think of our character traits. Use specific examples from the book and make sure your answers are written and typed in complete sentences. Chapter 2. Who is Mrs. Granger? How did students describe her? So you notice you have 2 questions. I should have 2 answers when you are done. Or you should be typing 2 answers when you are done. Make sure your answers are in complete sentences. And your final chapter question for Chapter 3. What is the conflict found or realized on pages 14 and 15? Prove it with evidence from the book. Remember, a conflict is like a problem. So what is the problem that is realized or found on pages 14 and 15? Make sure you prove it with evidence and answer it in complete sentences. All right, class. That is our guided reading lesson number 2. Make sure all of your assignments are answered in complete sentences and that they are due Monday, April 20th before our 10:30 a.m. meeting. Good luck and enjoy!